I just have this rubber band here to.
Here's what I really need to get on video. So this is.
I just have this rubber band here just to keep these, because these like to fall off when you're
okay. Yeah.
when they're unscrewed.
Yeah.
Let me explain something else.
Go for it.
You know, it's not a flying camera. It's a flying computer with the camera attached.
Yes.
And that's an important distinction. The compass is critical to the drone's navigation. The compass is highly susceptible to magnetic interference, and all these wires in here give off magnetic interference. And one on the forum, one of the things that we've watched happen is that a lot of people don't know, and they'll have these wires coming over their compass, and their drone starts to do this toilet bowl thing.
Yeah.
So it's important that you tuck the wires down below the compass. That's why most drone manufacturers either have the compass up high or they have it down low.
Now this is the compass here.
Yeah.
And it needs to be at a distance from the cables and cords and all that.
You want the cables down.
Okay,
you just don't want them up.
Okay.
And that's why when
that's the way you found this one or something?
Well, I don't know how you guys flew it, but I saw that, you know, they were pretty much kind of all over the place. The thing that was the most disturbing was that the receiver for the radio control was mounted on the underside of this, which meant those wires were up here above the compass.
Interestingly, I just want to point out, this is the way it was configured is exactly the way we got it from Urban Drones. Another reason I wasn't real happy with them. Maybe they didn't know all these things.
I do notice that you got number 10. So
okay.
you know, and
so we might have got one of the first ones.
I think you know they must have rushed it out. Yeah. So once I power it up, it takes about 30 seconds or so to get an adequate number of satellites to take off. I want to have my GoPro on and recording so that when this thing has power and it's trying to stabilize itself, I'm not messing with it.
You're not messing with it. So be recording now.
Now, yes, it adds recording time, and you have to edit all that out.
We're used to that.
And of course, you want to make sure that when you turn the GoPro on, that you didn't press it for too long. You didn't put it in picture mode instead of video mode.
We've been there, done that.
Been there, done that. You want to make sure that these wires aren't tangled, right? Because this thing can spin around when in transportation.
Yep.
When the Splash drone first came out, there was a lot of vibration issues. And they found that one thing that helped was that when people would put their props on, there'd be a little bit of space between the bottom of the prop and the top here. Right. And they found that putting a washer in between them helped eliminate the prop from doing this.
Oh, okay.
It had a little bit of give in it.
Okay. Interesting. So you just put 4 little washers in here is what you've done, basically. Okay.
And
actually, I'm glad we went through this.
Silver is right. I always like to give it a nice, you know, snug. It's hand tightened, but I like to, you know, give it a little, just to make sure, because sometimes when you land in the water, they can impact the water. You want to make sure they stay on.
Okay, now the silvers went on clockwise and the black go on counterclockwise. Screw on counterclockwise.
So the way I remember it is silver is longer than black and right is longer than left. So silver right, black left. Hi.
Okay. Now, how do you got 2 reds here. How do you know to start with where the silvers go? I mean...
Oh, because I always remember that I always start with the drone facing away from me.
All right, do that one more time. Start with the drone facing away from you.
Whichever drone I have, I'm always going to take off with the camera facing forward. This is the front of the drone.
Right on.
So I'm always going to have it pointed away from me, and this is the forward right prop.
Okay, it's silver.
It's silver. So
and the one opposite of it is silver.
So that's how I remember.
And the other 2 are the black counterclockwise.
Right.
Okay. All with washers.
And now I need to set it to record again, right?
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm going to turn my radio on.
Turn the radio on first. the drone in. Okay, then we put the gasket and then the top.
Now, by the way,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see.
Now, what were you doing here again, Lon, with the?
Well, you can scroll through a series of the telemetry. It's got several pages, and we probably need to stand away from it to have it be able to see the satellite. Let me turn my monitor on while we're waiting for it to acquire.
Mm-hmm.
And there we have picture. See?
Okay. Get it tighter here. Okay, I do see the picture. Yes. Okay.
You see, I marked it tilt and pan.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Pan up and down, tilt.
Now let me go ahead and pan it, and we'll show pan and tilt.
So there's pan, and there's tilt. One thing, it's really easy to have the tilt off and mess up your shot.
Okay.
So you really want to watch that tilt. I like to set it before I take off, and then once I'm in the air, take another look.
Okay.
Now in the meantime, you see that the satellite's gone from 0 to 5. We'd like to have.
Oh, I see. That's the number of satellites.
We'd like to have. We need 6 for it to mark its home position.
Okay.
So we'd like it to have more. The HDOP, horizontal dilution of precision.
Okay.
None of that's a term you're familiar with.
No, not me. Maybe John.
We'll explain that
Okay.
later, but generally, that's a good, nice low number. If it were 100, that'd be bad. Okay, now it's got 7. Great. So
Okay.
I like to have one more than 6, because that way, if you lose one in flight, you go from 7 to 6. You know, you're still good.
Okay.
The single most important thing when you're flying the splash drone, because of its susceptibility of that compass, is the ADI mode. Because in ADI mode, it doesn't use the compass, but it keeps its position by the barometer. It'll just drift with the wind. So if the splash drone, and this applies to any drone that you can, if it's in GPS mode and it's acting weird, it's doing flight patterns that it shouldn't be, get it into ADI mode. Doesn't work if you're in 30-mile-an-hour winds, because you're going to have a heck of a time, unless you're John, fighting the wind.
Yeah, he's very good at it.
So we're ready to take off.
Okay, but we're still on GPS over here.
Right.
We want to stay there, and we're on normal over here.
Okay. If we, like when I first took off out of my pool, even though I was pretty certain that I had fixed everything, just in case there was something else with it, and because you told me it didn't fly right, and what if I'm wrong? What if there's something else and it wasn't going to fly right? I took off in ADI mode. I got it up, I flipped into GPS, and I was ready to flip it back, because if it had started to move weird, right? Because if it right now, if I take off in GPS and it's going to act strange, it's going to veer off. I don't think it's going to do that. I hope not for our demonstration. Okay, so radio on.
Radio on. Compass calibration. Okay, radio on first.
I already unplugged the gimbal. There we go.
Okay, that's what you want.
There we go.
Rapid flashing green. Okay, very good.
You're a better student than.
Well, I just noticed that. So.
Okay. I look like a complete idiot doing this.
Yes, we do. And then you put it more vertical and do this. Keep on going. Okay, so ultimately we are looking for.
And now I'm dizzy.
No, we don't want to get dizzy.
Okay. So that should do it. So we're gonna turn it off and try it again.
Okay, it's flashing like it's supposed to, right?
Yeah. Usually, a lot of the times when you've powered it on and acquired GPS signal in a new location, it takes it a while, and the second time you power it on, it gets it much quicker.
Okay. So you turn the radio off, or it's on? It's off. We're just going to plug the gimbal in first.
Gimbal in first.
And we're still recording with the GoPro, actually. Right?
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. That's all right.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get
That's no problem.
lots of embarrassing audio here.
So we're going to plug in the drone itself. All right.
Yeah. You know,
After you turned on the radio.
Yeah.
All that. Okay. Put the top on.
I already forgot this.
With the gasket.
That would not be good if you were flying in the water.
Yeah, that's right. Well, see, that's what we're really mainly going to use this for, is water landings.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully later this, actually by June, I want to be able to show you some really cool stuff from Mexico.
And when we're done, I'll take my ID off. So I got 9 satellites.
9 satellites now.
And the
okay.
HGOP is down to 8. That's great. Okay, I still got my video monitor going.
Okay, now we're still...
By the way, if you look closely at the video monitor, there is a recording indication.
All right, hang on a second.
If you see that right there, that little red camera
Oh,
in
yeah,
the upper left-hand corner,
right here.
that shows you you're recording.
Okay. That shows that the GoPro is recording, right?
Right.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Right.
Now I just want to get a shot because I see this flashing. This is what we're looking for, right? When it's flashing green like that, just like the GoPro. I mean the Phantom.
Now watch what happens to when I put it in ADI mode. Now it goes to a slower green. You see
Okay.
that?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. When I put it back to GPS,
You got the double.
now it's a double.
Yeah.
If I go to return to home, quick flash.
Okay.
So it's got various indications.
Okay. So we're gonna go back to GPS
Yes.
right now, which is that double flash.
Right.
Okay.
This is this $80 helical that I was very well rated on Amazon, and even though it's a bizarre looking thing, it appears to work.
It helps out a lot.
It helps out quite a bit.
Moment of truth. Yeah.
Moment of truth.
Well, that's better already.
Still doing it a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
It may settle down here, though.
You will find that it's a lot different feel of flying than the Phantom. It's completely different.
Yeah.
It does want to go.
Oh, wow. You want to take it out there a while, get some shots, turn it around, shoot us here, have at it.
You're talking to a very nervous pilot.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And now you'll see. Here, come take a look.
Yeah.
You'll see that it looks like.
Let me see if I can get a picture of this here.
You know.
That'll shut it off.
You will notice that when I was coming in, the voltage showed 15.0. Now it went back up to 15.6. When the motors are on, the battery's under load, it shows a lower voltage. You definitely want to treat your lipos right, and you want to land this thing under load no lower than 14.2. Battery life on this is not good.
Okay.
10 minutes.
10 minutes you're estimating?
Yeah. So you mean you want to go out,
Okay.
get your shot, come back, swap batteries. Everything's still on, so you got to be careful you don't accidentally turn the motors on and have the props go, and then you cut yourself, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to touch the gimbal yet, even though it's still recording. It's still powered. and I want to avoid, if I can, touching the gimbal while it's under power.
Okay.
As soon as I cut the battery power, now I can stop.
Then you can do something.
Then I can stop the recording.
Okay.
Now I can turn the radio off.
And turn the radio off. Now, tell me again about the batteries. You said something in your email about what battery or batteries I need to get. So I want to get some spare batteries, of course.
Right. Okay. So, by the way, I try to when I put the battery in, you know, it slides around. So I try to center it, and then I manipulate this strap so that it's as snug as possible. Okay. Because when I'm under flight, I don't want it moving around and throwing the balance of the drone off.
I understand that.
The Splash drone came with 4,500 milliamp batteries.
Right, we know that.
They've now come out with a 5,200 milliamp battery, and they've discontinued these, so they don't even sell these anymore.
Now I need to get those from Urban Drones. You figure that's the best bet?
Yeah, and you know it's you figure another 700 milliamps is whatever 12% more, so it's going to give you another minute of flight time.
Yeah. Okay.
The only way people have been able to get significantly more flight time out of these is to modify them. People have actually moved the compass up, and they've modified it to put a second battery in.
Really? Wow.
That's not my forte.
Yeah. Is it even your recommendation?
Unless you're flying, if you don't need to, no, I would keep it stock, because, chances are they could make a lot of improvements. There's a lot of things that could be better about this machine. See this thing, if you look at the gimbal, right? I mean, it's just naturally, it gets
That's actually a 2-axis gimbal, right? Not a 3?
Right, it's a 2-axis gimbal, but it just gets a lot of, it just gets a lot of shake from the hull.
Yeah.
And they really need to redesign this gimbal to improve it. All right, inside the GoPro case is this O-ring.
Okay.
And O-rings, over time,
the white ring, okay.
Right, they can get brittle. So once in a while, you want to put a little silicone grease on it.
Okay.
So you take it out, you rub it, not just a little bit, and you put it back in. When you put the GoPro in, and you put it in, you want to make sure that these wires get down here, that when you close it, that you don't crimp here, because that will create a leak. Right? This has to be inside the body so that the O-ring can seal around the OA.
I got your point there.
Okay.
Yeah, you bet.
All right. Now, I've had problems with I noticed it didn't happen with yours, and I don't know if it's exclusive. It happens with the Hero 4, which I have, and not the 3. And that is the inside of the lens on the case will fog up after a few minutes.
I saw that, your notes on that.
And so a lot of times what I would do is I would just put a little dab of anti-fog spray before I fly and rub it clean, and that would solve that problem.
Wow.
Okay. Then, solve another problem is that I was getting small leaks. Well, actually what happened was I tried to first solve the fogging problem. Before I discovered this stuff, I first just tried to solve it with these GoPro anti-fog inserts. Don't need them for that because the spray works, but what I discovered is that these are great for if there is a small leak and you put it under here, it absorbs the water.
It does, wow.
So it's better for this to have a little sponge in there to absorb the water than for your GoPro to absorb it. Now I'm on my 3rd gimbal.
You are?